Hey, welcome to DM Talk. I'm Henry Knight. I'm DM for Playerole. It's a bi-weekly show. On Saturdays, we play Dungeons and Dragons. That's what it's all about, right? Dungeons and Dragons. We start at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Central on Saturdays. Tomorrow, we have a big game. We are going to film remotely at Rockbox Fitness. A big thanks to AJ and management at Rockbox Fitness. We have a huge game. The end of one of the first story arcs in Campaign 2 called Draw City. And that's the finale. Join us there for tomorrow night at Rockbox Fitness at 8 p.m. Central. We have a great show tomorrow night. But tonight we have DM Talk. And what is DM Talk? For folks at Kick, we just joined Kick on streaming, and hopefully they can stay with us. We got a lot of content. On Fridays, we film Creatures of the Realm, we go over the Monster Manual from A to Z. I'm on the G right now, and we're going to continue that trend until we hit the very end of the Monster Manual. And we're going to break it up by seasons. But that's Creatures of the Realm. DM Talk is more or less of a unscripted, nothing scripted here. My games are not scripted. The players are not scripted. It's no holds barred. I do have a story. I do not railroad the game. That's how I do things, the DM. Whatever happens, happens. So if I have something written, per se, if they go in door number 1 and they decide to go to door number 3, well, shit happens. That's the way it's done. I film live. You're going to see mistakes done. Hell, I make mistakes. My players make mistakes. We're a bunch of guys. We love Dungeons and Dragons. We love role-playing in general, and that's what we do. We have a good time, and ultimately, that's the number one thing about role-playing. Having a good time, A. B, just role-playing your character and know what you're doing, because that's all part of the game, right? So what do we do with DM Talk? In DM Talk, normally I have 3 topics. Last time we filmed, I didn't really have a topic. I just kind of went off on whoever wrote in the comments what they wanted to talk about. I went ahead and they asked me questions, and I went ahead and answered them to the best of my ability. What I love about live streaming is, for one, you could film all you want. Editing is a good thing. Yeah, you want to edit out the ums and all this, but you know what? It's more real. It's more personal. And you're going to know me as a DM. You're going to know the guys, how they are, how they are playing. And let me tell you, the game itself of Dungeons and Dragons is fun as hell. If you're going to play a paladin, if you're going to play a barbarian, a cleric, a druid, whatever class you decide to get into, just remember, you are having fun. That's the name of the game, is having fun. And when you sit back and immerse yourself in a fantasy setting, it's awesome. At least to me it is. And filming live and filming without editing is so important, because if you make a mistake, you're going to get the realness. You're going to get that factor. Somebody rolls a die. Oh, shit, I messed up. Well, guess what? You messed up. You're going to get the realness of that roll. You're going to get the ambiance. You're going to get the mistakes. You're going to get all that. And to me, that's so important, because it is part of who we are. Our motto in Playerole is real people, real gamers. We're real gamers. We're going to go ahead and say, if we don't like something, we're going to say something. You're going to get the gist of what role-playing is. This is not Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is a video game. The video game is awesome, but you're not going to get that type of feel that you're going to get in a role-playing game. And in the role-playing game, you're going to get your acting. You're going to try to portray that class to the best of your ability. And sometimes you're going to mess up. And when that happens, in live, you're going to see that. Live. What's the best way to do it? And like right now, the camera is a little off, or I'm off. Let me move. Okay, here we go. Now I'm kind of centered. See, that's what I mean. It's great because when you get the gist of what role playing is and understand that you're there to have fun ultimately. Just remember that. And when you role play any game, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons, Cyberpunk Vampire, The Masquerade, any Heroes Unlimited, Palladium system, whatever game you're playing, just remember, have fun. And to me, the fun is gone when you edit. Let me give you my opinion about that. And that's a great topic to talk about, is streaming in general. How do you feel about streaming and so forth? Okay, let's sit back. So, how do I feel about streaming in general? How do I feel about editing? Editing is a pain in the ass. Let me tell you why. You're going to edit portions of the game, maybe take this out, tweak this and that. But you know what? It takes the realness out of the game. You want reality? You want connection? You're going to witness a live game. A live game. You're going to see the mistakes. You're going to see the unfiltered. And that's why our channel is adults and up, or 18 or over or whatnot. Because I want you to see the unfiltered version of the live game. I want to see the table. The table when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or any role-playing game, the table is not going to be edited. The table is not going to be, I can't swear. Maybe I do. Maybe I screwed up. But no, editing sucks. Altogether, editing sucks. It takes the fun out of role-playing. It takes the fun. I know a lot of streamers that stream and they edit. That's their thing. But my thing, Playerole, I like the geekiness factor of it. I like the fact that somebody makes a mistake and you catch that mistake. Oh, that DM, he made a bad call. Great. Put it down in the comment. Man, DM Henry, you made a bad call. How could you? You know what? It happens. We're all human, right? We make mistakes. And that's the thing about shooting live. You make mistakes, it's caught on camera, and people get to actually see. The audience sees the live. They see the mistakes. They see what happens. They see the story accelerate. They see the story ascending. They see the story live. They don't, you can see an edited version, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, it is. To me, for the regular audience, they may not, they'll find the show or whatever it is, it's edited, and then they're going to be like, yeah, it's cool. You're editing. But when you see it live, unfiltered, you're going to see the mistakes. You're going to see the things that regularly you'll see when you're gaming with your friends. That's the whole point. Our motto at Playerole, and my guys and me, real people, real gamers. You're going to see that. You're going to see guys make mistakes. If one of my players accidentally farts, oops, it's caught on camera. You can't take that out, can you? Oh, you gotta edit it out because it's not cool. You know what? Who doesn't fart in a game? It happens. I know it's disgusting, but it does happen. It does. It does happen. People make mistakes. When you say something you're not supposed to say on live, you say a bad word. You say the F word or the S word or whatever it is. Shit. And all of a sudden, it's caught on camera. Ooh. But you know what? The thing is, it's live. It's live. And you know what? It's unfiltered. And people love that. At least I love that. That's what I like about it. I like about it, the exhilaration, the energy that you're going to get. You're going to get live. And yeah, you can say you're going to get the same energy edited. But are you? Are you? You got to make a choice. You know, editing is great when people accidentally say the wrong thing and you could edit it. Take it out. My guys know that if they mistakenly say something and it's caught, we're going to get the repercussions. But you know what? I'll take that chance because that's live. They know what not to do. I know what not to do. I know the rules that the streaming platforms, their rules, their regulation. I know all that. But as a gamer, I want you guys as the audience to see real life role playing, the laughing. Sometimes somebody farts. Sometimes somebody laughs and bellows so hard. Somebody they interrupt. You're not going to get this whole dance and flow. Ooh, ah. You're not going to get that. You're going to get a little bit of disruption. You're going to get somebody maybe scratching their hair so much. You're going to get somebody standing up, going to the bathroom. You're going to get that. It's part of role playing, guys. See, people think that if they watch other big streaming creators, they're going to say, well, that's the way role playing is. Maybe. But at least with Playerole, you're going to get us live and you're going to get unfiltered group, period. You're going to get me unfiltered. I'm going to describe to the best of my ability. I'm going to do voices to the best of my ability. And that's all part of role playing, but you're going to get it unfiltered. You're not going to get it edited. You're not going to get it filtered. There you go. No. You're not going to get it that way. If something cuts off, well, we'll stop, start to stream again, and it's happened before. It's happened to me before. Mics, cameras, all that stuff. It's all part of streaming. And as an editor, you can say, oh, well, go through it, edit it, splice it, put it together. It'll look beautiful. Yeah, professionally, it does look good. But if you want an experience of how role-playing is and how it should be, join us on Playerole. Why? You're going to get unfiltered. You're going to get folks that are going to do what they do. They're going to run their character. Some may run it better than others, but you're going to get that. That's what role-playing is. It's not perfection. And that's what I think the mainstream Dungeons and Dragons is. And a lot of streamers, a lot of creators now on YouTube and a bunch of different platforms is they use this beautiful ambiance and magic that you're going to get in filming. It's a great film, but you're not watching a movie. You're watching a live session or a Dungeons and Dragons session or Cyberpunk, Vampire, whatever game you decide to use. You're watching that. And when you're watching that, you want to get a sense of, if you're a new player, what is role-playing? Oh, wait, I'm watching this channel. Everything's perfect. But this other channel, you're going to get the imperfections. You're going to get like the DM messes up. The DM sometimes gets up and grabs some water, like I'm doing right now. Somebody might have a little bit of a potty mouth. Somebody might accidentally fart, right? It happens. They'll get up, excuse themselves, and go to the bathroom. I mean, I'm sorry, it sounds disgusting, but it does happen. Gaming groups, what people don't understand, when I gamed, I'm 52 years old, and when I gamed as a kid, we sat around the table, and sometimes it wasn't a table, a couch. 3 or 4 people on the couch, 6 people, whatever, the DM. When we played, that's all it was. I stream because I love doing this, and I want to show what I got and the players that I have with me to you. And I love telling a story, and that's what I love doing. So I'm doing this because I love it. Now, that being said, let's go into how you bring all this together streaming. Well, it's not easy. I've never dealt with cameras and mics or anything. I had to learn. I had to educate myself in camera work, editing. Well, not editing. I'm sorry, the bad word. Mics. Mic is a big deal. I've had a dynamic mic. I've had a cardioid mic. I didn't know the difference between the two. So one of my buddies, buddy Matt, he said, Henry, I'm using a different type of mic, and the way the sound works, a cardioid mic, hence the name cardioid, a heart. The sound travels like this, and the other mic, the sound travels like, forward and back. And it was horrible. I had a time where in season 1, the first, I'd say probably 10, 11 episodes, some were good, some were bad. And I'm not talking the content, I'm talking the audio, the video. I was learning a lot. So it's a learning process. And this is the stuff that's not easy, learning the algorithm, trying to get you promotion, trying to get all that stuff out there. That's just a big deal. And I've never done that before. But it's a lot of fun. The engagement that you have with your audience. I've never talked in front of a camera before. I had to learn to get all the shyness out and just go ahead and do it. But now I love doing it. I love talking to the camera because I feel that you guys are here with us and watching the game. And sometimes, like I had this game in season 1, an episode where I was streaming and everything was good and it was a great session. And midway through, the camera cut out, audio just went on the fritz. And I had to splice it live, stopped it, boom, video 2, that was the editing. And I did all the edits on YouTube, very quickly. And at that time, I only streamed on one platform. I didn't have multiple, thank God, because it would have been a mess going to different platforms trying to get everything together. But when I did that, it just cut out and it went on the fritz, and we just 15 minutes at all it took to just stream live again. Video 2, boom. That was a header. I had to retract what I said. And you gotta understand, sometimes the DM, there are things that you write that you have for a scene, and you look at your notes or whatever you have, and if you have, I'm the type of DM where I take the energy of my players. So the more you role play, the more energy I get, and I throw it right back at you. And if there's no energy, I gotta deliver the energy to bring up the party. And then when that happens, things may go up in flames or not, depending on the scenario. But that night was tough. And I was so tired after, because I had to remember a lot of things that I had said before, and I had to repeat it. And I did briefly. And so far, thank God that the episode was successful. And even though it was split up in 2, it was successful and it was great. And that's part of streaming that can be a real kicker. And I'm looking at everything right now. And kicker, and sometimes it sucks, but sometimes it just falls apart. And you're going to have to pick up and move on. But I will always stream live. I love streaming live. I love it. I refuse to edit. I do not like it. I do not like editing. I'd rather you guys, audience, see us live, unfiltered, and boom, role playing. That's what you're going to get. And if I have to hit stop and record again, I'll do it. I have to splice it 3 times, I'll do it. I will not do editing. I refuse to do that. And a lot of times, folks are like, well, to give your guys a break, the editing is a good thing. Yeah, it is a good thing. But our channel is every other week for a reason. To give the guys a break, to give me a break, to give, I've got a family too. We all have families. We've got things to do. to give everybody a break. That's what we do. That's why we do every other week. Doing streaming every week is a big deal. It's tough, and I can see why other creators edit, because you have that week to give folks a break. I understand that, but the bi-weekly schedule to me is the best. Trying to break that trend is going to be difficult, but there's nothing that we can't do. We're going to persevere, move forward, and move on. Now, let's talk about, I talked about streaming and so forth. Let's talk about other topics. Any of you online want to talk about anything? Jot it down on the comments, and I'm going to continue on. And if I see anything on there, I'll go ahead and address it to the best of my ability. I saw this online on one of the D&D forums that I go to, and one DM was saying how he constantly has an issue with people showing up to his game. Well, let's talk about that. That's tough. And that's what I mean about recording live. I've had folks that showed up late. I had folks that did not show up. Like I have my buddy Andrew. He's part of the game. He plays Brazil, a Triton monk. And that monk will not be here next game. But the last game, the monk went into a hidden room. He separated himself from the party, and this was unscripted. This wasn't even in the game. I wrote it where there was a big fight. The fight ended, and there was a hidden room which they found, but no one decided to investigate. Rizil, played by Andrew, went ahead into that room after the fight. I didn't know he was going to do that. I'm like, okay, cool. And he went in there. The door closes behind him. So it worked out perfectly because he's on vacation. And Andrew, if you're watching this, I hope you're having a safe vacation. He's in Mexico and where else? Mexico and Belize on a cruise, yeah. So I hope he's well. I know there's a lot of hurricane action happening in different regions there, and I hope everybody is safe, and I wish him the best, that everything's good. But he said that he has a delay. That's the only thing he had, thank God. Because of the hurricane, so hopefully his vacation is good and he has a happy time. But anyways, that's what I mean about folks not showing up, is sometimes life happens. Sometimes people can't show up to your game. And as a DM, you got to adjust. What I like doing is I have another person in the party that role plays his character. Sometimes I say, leave it be, I'll do it and go from there. Or I'll have a scenario where the character treks off somewhere else. Now, that's a little harder for you as a DM, but it's a cool way to do it. And it really alleviates a lot of issues where you can say, well, Henry, he wasn't there. Why are you role-playing his character? Well, sometimes as a DM, you don't want to deal with another plot, because he trekked off on his own. So it's easier for a DM to just role-play that character in game and use him as an NPC. You can do that. It's easy. Now, how do you deal with folks not showing up on a continuous basis? Well, talk to your players. That's the key. Communication is the key. Know that whatever you do, be nice. Got to remember we're all people. We're not, I love streaming, yes, but we do stream. We're on multiple platforms and so forth. But it doesn't mean that you get to treat somebody like shit. No, you don't get to do that. Everybody's human, and we're here and adults to discuss an issue, if there is an issue. Everyone has families, and people are people, and they have things that they have to do. So sometimes you just say, hey, I can't make it, yada, yada, yada. Okay, good, move on. That was easy. Well, on the platform, that the forum that I was on, and the DM was upset because it was happening on a continuous basis and it was out of control and he didn't know how to deal with it. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with folks being out of control? How do you deal with folks not showing up to your game on a continuous basis? Well, and this is important. Once that happens, let me check my, I'm getting an error here real quick. See what I mean about streaming? All right, you always got to check. And I'm going to check. Everybody's good so far? All right. So, communication, no matter what, number one thing. Secondly, you take that player and say, look, you've been missing so much, and we can't continue on this. So I'm gonna just say, you know what, you're done. You're not part of the party anymore. But be as nice as possible. Understand that not everybody is going to agree with you, but if they're going to do it on a continuous basis, what I mean by that is every other game not showing up, and if you have a campaign, and especially if you're streaming, you are gonna need that person. And sometimes you could have another player role play that character, but that player might be mad and say, well, I don't want to do it because I'm sick and tired of doing it. So how do you deal with that? Communication. Talk to a person and say, look, this has got to stop, yada, yada, yada. If not, you're out of the campaign. That's it. Wash your hands, punch this pilot, boom. Seriously, that's the only way to handle it. That's the only way to handle it, really. I mean, if you keep letting them in, it's going to upset the other party or other party members. A party is not just one person. That's why it's called a party. If you have a party of 7 or 8 or 9 or 5 or 4 or 3, whatever it is, they all are a team. Team player, man. There's no I in team. They all discuss it and say, look, Henry, we discussed this as a team, as a party, and Johnny, little Johnny, whatever his name is, let's say, little Johnny can't make it to the game, and when he does, he's falling asleep, he's not paying attention, he's being disruptive. You know, you're not at school, you're not taking a college course where you need to pay attention, but you are playing a game, yes, but it's also called courtesy, etiquette. We're all adults, we're not children. So we're playing a game, and in your party, if you have one person being disruptive, one person not showing up, then it has to be addressed. And once you take it beyond that, and you address the issue, you say, look, little Johnny, you haven't been showing up, you've been disruptive. You know, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to let you go. I love you, brother, we still hang out, but as far as Dungeons and Dragons, no. That's what you do, period. I hope that helps. Here's another one that I've been wanting to talk about. What if we were talking about last episode, DM Talk, we were talking about showboat, somebody who showboats and so forth. What if you talk to a person? You talk to a person, right? And now they're ready to come back to the game, or, you know, they're not going to showboat anymore. What if it continues to showboat? What if that person continues to take the limelight? What if that person says, I'm the one that did it and nobody else did? How are you going to deal with that as DM? You do deal with it. You just deal with it to your ability. You talk to a person. Communication, again, is a key. Talk to the person because he is another human being. He or she, doesn't matter. It's another human being. You talk to a person, to that person, and you say, look, you're showboating. You're a great role player, but I want everybody else has to have that chance too. That's it. All you say. And if they continue to do it, doing it. Then remember I mentioned etiquette. It's like you're eating at the table. You have your forks. You're not going to burp or fart at the table, right? Or swear when you're at a restaurant. The same applies when you're role playing. You see me in the video saying, "Hey guys, calm down." It's because they get energetic and they get excited. That's fine, but I say to calm down because I'm trying to deliver a message or a role playing moment that I want that particular player to understand. And when other people are interrupting, that's not good. But to me, it's etiquette. I would do that at your house. I would not be disruptive at your table. So if you invited me to role play at your table, I'm not going to be disruptive. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to listen to your story, and when it's my turn, then I role play. See, new role players, D&D being mainstream, it's huge because when I played, few people knew of it here and there. There was, depending on what crowd you hung with. If you hung with, the rockers, they're not gonna know. Some might, but not all. They just like going to concerts and rock and roll. And then there was a group that just role played, the gamers. They knew what to do. They knew the games. So when you role played, they knew that everybody in that table had a certain message, had a certain way to do things. The DM, the referee, the storyteller, back then it was more of a storyteller, DM, GM, whatever. They were the ones telling the story and you never interrupted. Etiquette, we all knew that. That's it, etiquette. Now, how do you deal with a showboater? Well, same thing goes. Same thing applies. Tell them, "Hey, look, I love your role playing, but you're going to have to bring it down." And if they continue doing it, and then the other members of the game, the party gets angrier and angrier, then you're going to have to eventually kick him or her out. Because unfortunately, this is a game, yes, but when you're filming and streaming, when we're talking about streaming in general, and if you want the live feel of the role-playing process, you're also going to get that energy. You're going to see some people at the table that are not going to like certain things against the DM, or the DM is not going to like certain things the players are doing. It's not the DM versus player. It's just the energy that you're going to get in different situations. And sometimes when somebody's showboating, you're going to have to say, "Stop." Not when you're role playing. After you're role playing, away from the table, talk to that person, and hopefully you could come up with a solution. If you can't, my suggestion is to bring them back to the table, and after you discussed your thoughts, what you had issues with them or her, and if they continue doing it, then you should just kick them out of your table. That's it. It's not that hard. But, and I say but, sometimes there might be an underlying situation. What do I mean by that? Family problems, issues at work, whatever. We're all friends. That's one thing I love about the community. And Dungeons & Dragons role-playing community this community is huge. We're all friends. We're family. Like a family. And when you say, "I'm going to kick you, motherfucker," sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes you're just going to have to let it fly a little bit, ease off a little tension, talk to him more, and so forth. Because you're all friends. And the sad thing about all this is you don't want to be disrupted. You don't want that person to continue taking the limelight, getting the limelight, and then pissing off the other players. But the difficult part of all this is you're all friends. You're all friends. And you can say what you will and say, "I'm going to kick you from the game because you're being an asshole." Sometimes it's easier said than done because you're friends. And the community of role-playing, the gaming community, are tight like a family. We're friends. It's easy for somebody to write on a forum, yeah, kick them, do this, do that. It's easy for me to say that, but it's not, because we're all friends. The gaming community is huge. The gaming community is together. They, they fought WotC. Yeah, they did. We did. Everybody did. Yeah. And here we are. We are a big group of family and friends. That's what it is. That's the caveat. That's the gist of it. We're family and friends. Because if you look at it like that, you could go to a higher plane. Seriously. Because then there's nothing you can do as a group. My group, yeah, we have our issues. We all do. But I love them to death. I won't change anything about it. Yeah, we've had players come and go from Playerole, and it happens. But we're all friends. And ultimately, I'm not changing that. The biggest thing about role-playing is the group and the community. And you could have one hell of a story, and you don't have that connection, it's going to drop. It's going to drop. It will. You could be the best in storytelling. You could be the best in role-playing. You could be the best DM in the world. And if you don't have a party, nothing. You might as well just talk to yourself, because it's not happening. Role-playing is a community. Role-playing are men and women, children as well, that play games. That's what I love about it. Playing games. I want to talk about what's coming next in Playerole. Well, my buddy Alex Yanis, he has a game that he created called Existentials, and it's out right now. You could check out Essentials, and check it out. It's a great role-playing game. He streamed it on this channel. You could see it on Rumble, and you could see it here. And let me tell you, Alex is a great guy, and he talked about this new board game that his buddy is creating, or I'm not too sure if they're both creating it, but he did say it's a brand new board game that he wants to try out. And I'm like, by all means, let's do it here. Let's have fun and do it. It's a Gloomhaven type of thing, so I'm really excited about that. So I don't know when it's happening. I have to talk to him more, but we got some things happening too. And in the future, I will be taking a break from season 2, just a little bit, and we will be doing something completely different. Maybe do like a Warhammer tabletop battle, filming it here in Playerole. You know what? This is Dungeons and Dragons channel. I know that, but if you're a Warhammer fan, gotta love it. We're gonna do that. It's just fun. And I haven't played Warhammer in a long time. I'll probably get my ass kicked. But that's what's coming in the future. Not now. We got a hell of a lot more story for season 2. And that's a lot of fun. So anyways, let's continue on topics. The main thing as a DM that you have to look at as a party is don't try to have that feeling that I'm going to kill off every character. I'm going to go ahead and wipe out the whole group. Give the illusion that you're going to do that. Scare the hell out of them with a creature in the distance. Scare them. But it's not against DM, against player. But if you have that illusion, and you have this creature that looks extremely powerful, but isn't, and then you have a massive attack and they bring them down quick. Try to do things differently. If you have a story arc that's mystery, try to bring in a little bit of action in that mystery. That's all I'm saying. I know DM's guide, gotta have a certain amount of combat, gotta have a certain amount of this, but gotta remember, you're the DM, this is your table, you run it how you want to run it. That's just the way it is. You're not stepping away from Dungeons and Dragons. You're not jumping out of the world. No, you run it the way you run it. Dungeons and Dragons is Dungeons and Dragons. It's a fantasy world. And when you run it in a certain way that some rules lawyer might be, oh, well, then he used a bonus action, right? Or whatnot. Look, people make mistakes. One of my buddies said, Henry, you got to call out your players out more. And I have been doing a lot better on that. And I have. But I don't like to do that because I am streaming. But I want to keep things flowing. But you need to call out your players. And the reason being is because you want to keep that balance and you want to keep that flow. And to do that accurately, tell the story, but don't get into arguments. If they do something wrong, say, hey, man, a spell, a cantrip, boom. You know what I mean? The whole cantrip and spell thing. People make the mistakes. People make the mistake. They're going to say, spell, cantrip, I'm going to do that. But if you use an action surge, that gives you another action, and you can go ahead and do this. And people get excited. And in a fantasy game, that's exciting. When you're going up against a demon or a dragon, you pull out your sword and you're like, yeah, I got 3 actions. Oh shit, I have 2. Ugh, I messed up. So, move on. Move on. So what do you do if you do mess up? What do you do if you mess up? Excuse me, drink water again. So you mess up, you move on. So now you have an issue where a player is really saying, well, I'm messing up way too much. How do I deal with that when you're streaming? Because remember, we're talking about ultimately streaming too. So when you do it when you're role playing with a group of people and you don't have cameras on you, you can say, hey, you can't do that in bonus action. What are you doing? When you're streaming, it's a whole new thing. So you got to act like you're like, oh yeah, and you can only do 1 reaction per turn. Okay. That's all you get. You don't get 3, 4, 5, 6. You only do 1 reaction. That's all you get. Oh wait, you have an action surge. Did you check it on your box? You only have 1. I mean, it's not up to the DM to always micromanage the players if they're running the character right. That does get difficult sometimes when you're trying to run a game and you get people that are like, oh my god, what's going on? Should I action surge maybe another one? Come on, little Johnny. You already used your 2. What are you using 3 for, bro? Oh man, I forgot. Throw it out like that. Remember, we're all people. Be nice. Sometimes it can be a little unnerving. Sometimes it can be a little difficult. But ultimately, here comes my little creature, my cat. She's gonna jump on my table. She likes to jump on my keyboard every now and then. Charlie. Anyways, she's over there in the distance, so if I have to jump and get her, you know why. main thing is try to be nice about it. So if somebody is not doing the right thing and they're not looking at their character right, try to do the right thing. Be nice. Don't be an asshole. Just say, hey man, you only get 2 action surges. You use 1 already, get 1 more, not 3. Oh shit, I'm sorry. It happens, man. Or Divine Smite. You know what? 5d8 is the max on Divine Smite. Can't go over that. 5d8. Up to. Read it. Oh, damn. You know, whatever, darkness spell. You know, we don't memorize every little thing. That's why you have DM screen. The DM screen is best for just that. Oh, wait. Boom. There you go. You didn't remember something? Look at it. That's the best way to do it. That's how you manage a game. Don't micromanage. Don't hover. Don't like that. Don't hover over people. Just they're responsible for their characters. That's it. Because the DM is responsible for everything else. So just like a player wants a character or an NPC to be straightforward, or a battle to be balanced, or a battle to do in a certain way, then the players are responsible for their own characters to understand how to run the character, when the bonus action, what they have. Not everybody has a bonus action. You know, if you have cunning action, if you're a rogue, you cannot disengage on a bonus action. You don't do that. Only a rogue can do that. You know? So those are certain things that you have to know when you're playing a character. You might say, oh, fuck it. No, I found a certain rule on page 37 in the player's manual and blah, 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 the DM's guide. And yeah, sure. But got to remember, it's your game, your table. It's you are the voice. You're the voice that scenario. So either you treat it properly or don't treat it at all. But remember, depending on how you treat it, is this. Respect. Give everybody respect. Because you give somebody respect, they're going to give you respect. Period. Don't be an ass. Play the game. The fun of the game. The energy of the game. Like I said before, the way I role play is somebody delivers a role-playing scene. They're in a tavern. Here comes my cat. She's going to do it. What is she doing? So she's jumping on the table. There she is. No. Stay over there. No. No. I don't want you jumping on the mic. No. Look, I want to show you my cat. Just so you can see her. Come here. Come on. Oh, look at her. Look at her. Look at this thing. This is Charlie. She's an awesome cat. She likes to nibble. She doesn't like to be held a lot. She likes to walk around free. She's my creature. Yeah, I have another cat. His name is Goober. He's a black cat. He's fat. He's about 20-something pounds. He's huge. And this one right here is a good cat. She is ornery sometimes. She likes to jump on things and mess things up, and I don't need her to jump on my computer or anything like that. Now, if I had the other cat out, Goober, I wouldn't even have my computer out. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Charlie. He will pounce on the keyboard, knock everything out, kick over the mic. He's just very... he's a klutz. Yes, he's a klutz. Oops, what's that? Poof. He's the Beethoven of cats. That is... that is my cat Goober. This is Charlie. She is a little ornery right now. She's pissed because I'm kind of holding her kind of tight. But she seems content right now because I'm petting her. But either way, just remember, in your party, if DM, treat your people with respect. And if you have an issue, treat them with respect. Understand that. Because you don't treat them with respect, they're going to have a big issue. And then things, I got to watch her. She likes jumping. So they're going to treat you badly and because you treated them badly. And treat everybody with respect and dignity, man. They deserve it. No. Come on, up. Not on the. No. Come on, jump up if you want. See what I mean? She wants up here. She wants back up. All right. So treat people with respect, and that's it. That's what I got for you guys. I mean, the main thing that you got to do as a DM, you don't have to do it, but I urge you to do it because remember, this community, this wonderful community. A big thumbs up to my subscribers and the people that are continuing to watch my show, our show. It's not just mine; it's the guys as well. They are just a bigger part of this endeavor than I am. And I urge you to stay with us on Playerole. We have a lot of great content. We have so much happening. Join us, tomorrow at 8 p.m. We're going to stream live, man. We're going to stream live. Live is where it is. Live remotely in a place, in a gym. It's called Rockbox Fitness. And Rockbox, AJ, and the management in Rockbox gave us permission to stream there, and it's going to be a great time. And it's going to be a different setting for us. You're not going to see the same background you see here. You're going to see something totally different, and we're going to have a lot of fun. She bit me, ouch. And you know what? I'm sorry. Want me to pay attention to you? I'm paying attention to you. Here, get down. Stop being like that. So, anyways, join us. Join us tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central. We're going to cut it a little bit short tonight because I have a lot going tomorrow, a lot of setup happening. And again, join us. Thank you very much for your subscriptions, and thank you very much for your views and so forth. Stay with us, guys. We got a lot happening. And again, join us tomorrow. I'll see you, and good night.